This video is brought to you by the Deck of Many in their Big Bad Booklet series. Hello friend, and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. Today we're taking a look at 60 Feet Under, the second book in the Pathfinder Agents of Edgewatch adventure path, available now. Many thanks to Paizo for sending it to us to review. If you're thinking about ever playing as a player in an Agents of Edgewatch adventure, this is not the video for you. You can go watch my review of the first book in the series by clicking the little eye in the corner of your screen. That'll give you some non-spoilery background information to see if it's a campaign for you. The rest of this video is for folks who plan to run the adventure as a GM. For you players, I'll see you next time. Okay, let's talk about what to expect from Book 2 of Agents of Edgewatch. The first book in the series was fairly self-contained, so there's a good clean break here before you start Book 2. That'll give you a good chance to drop in some character building side sessions or some downtime activities, but eventually your party will be ready to follow up on their primary lead, that the Thieves Guild known as the Copper Hand is planning a bank heist. And the agents are going to have to do some good old-fashioned investigative work to uncover their nefarious plan. They're given a number of leads to follow up on in whatever order they like. This fairly open-ended, sandboxy investigation takes up the majority of the first of the 4 chapters of this book. If your players signed up to feel like true city guards and investigators, this chapter should be right up their alley. The characters will be interviewing witnesses, following up on leads, investigating minor crimes, going over ledgers for inconsistencies, examining crime scenes for clues, and fighting off pesky creatures who have gotten where they're not supposed to be. It seems like a really satisfying series of tasks that should give the players a lot of agency and make them feel like they're really working within the system to help people in their community. The investigation should lead them to the true target of the bank robbery and into Chapter 2, where they'll attempt to catch the thieves in the act in order to capture and interrogate them and ensure that they've taken them off the streets for good. Plus, the robbery is scheduled to take place during the Radiant Parade, which will give you kind of a memorable backdrop to this encounter. And this is one of those rare occasions in RPGs where your party's going to be able to plan ahead on how they're going to deal with an attack. They have almost free reign to position or disguise themselves as they like, either in the parade or inside the bank or wherever they want. They can set traps or prepare decoys or whatever is within their means. The Copper Hand will then spring their rather elaborate and multi-stage heist, and hopefully the party planned well enough to thwart them. And assuming everything went well, the party should be able to interrogate one of the robbers and discover the location of the Copper Hand hideout. Now, this seemingly small thieves guild seems to be armed with some pretty good technology and arcane creations that should be well out of the reach of a small thieves guild. So there's clearly someone behind the scenes arming and supporting them. Chapter 3 is all about the agents planning a raid on the Copper Hand hideout in order to take them down once and for all, and figuring out who's really pulling the strings. The agents are able to stake out the joint and then plan an assault as they see fit, all while trying to avoid detection for as long as possible. And the party's going to run into some interesting characters and situations in that hideout, including a lab where they're breeding and training vault breaker oozes to break through bank vaults. And upon capturing the leader of the Copper Hands, the leader gives the agents a choice. They can either allow her to go free to gain intelligence on that bigger threat to the city, the one pulling the strings, or take her in and then she triggers a trap to destroy all their evidence. And tough choices are what this game's all about. The last chapter has the characters following up on the information they've gained. One way or the other, they should have learned that the Thieves Guild has been working with a murderous skin-saw cult based out of the catacombs of the Ascendant Court and run by a Norgorber worshiper named Skinner. So the last chapter is a more traditional dungeon crawl through an old crypt. The catacombs are pretty extensive, and there's even a random encounter table to roll on depending on which level of the dungeon they're on. The party will fight monsters like animated statues, a Doulahan, a black pudding, skeletons, and strange eldritch creatures. They'll have to overcome new traps and hazards. I'd go so far as to say that the party will probably spend about half their playtime in this book exploring this dungeon. In the end, they discover that Skinner is part of a cabal with even greater plans, and that'll set the stage for Part 3 of the Agents of Edgewatch adventure path. The rest of the book gives you more background information. First, we have the rundown of the various Absalom guard precincts, because your agents are going to have to interface with them depending on who has jurisdiction in each area they need to visit. Next, we have a long article about Vudra, the Impossible Kingdoms, which is a large peninsula based on Indian culture and mythology. The adventure toolbox here gives us new magic items, including a skin saw mask that helps you see when someone's frightened and lets you deal extra precision damage to frightened creatures. There's a floor bell that triggers an alarm when a certain amount of weight is placed on it or removed from it. You've got some new spells, including Create Skin Stitch, hold on for that, Maze of Locked Doors, Putrefy Food and Drink, things like that. And you've got a new archetype, the Jalmari Heavenseeker, a martial artist who's devoted herself to the esoteric mysteries of the sky and incorporated those abilities into her fighting style. And we've got some monsters, of course, including, of course, the Skin Stitch. We have been waiting for his appearance since he first showed up in the City of Lost Omens mini collection recently, despite not having a stat block out at that point. Well, here he is, and this is what his mini looks like. If you'd like to see our full review of the City of Lost Omens mini collections, which includes a Skin Stitch here, it really does support this adventure. Go ahead and click that little eye in the corner of the screen to see all of them. There's some other pretty interesting creatures here in the toolbox, including the T-Gnome and the aforementioned Vault Breaker Ooze. Overall, this looks like another fun and full adventure. You've got an open-ended investigation, a defense mission against some bank robbers, as a raid on a thieves guild, and then a long dungeon crawl through a very creepy set of catacombs. 60 Feet Under is the 158th Pathfinder adventure book from Paizo and the second of 6 in the Agents of Edgewatch campaign. It's available now in print form for $24.99 and as a PDF from Paizo.com for $17.99, along with the included interactive map PDF file. It's also part of the Pathfinder Adventure Path subscription. The next book, All or Nothing, is scheduled for September 16th, which is right around the corner. Speaking of Pathfinder, just wanted to give you the heads up that I'll be participating as a guest player in the Band of Badgers livestream campaign of Rise of the Runelords over on Twitch. They've converted the adventure to 2nd edition rules, and I'm super excited to join them for some fun storytelling. The stream will also be hosted by Paizo and our friends over at Beetle and Grimm's. They're kicking off the campaign on Thursday, August 27th. We'll be scheduling my first appearance soon, so I won't be on the kickoff show, but I'll let you know when you can see me. Come join me on their chat channel on Twitch until then. I'll be over there so I can chat with you guys while we're watching them start the adventure. You can also find me over on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where we share breaking news, thoughts, and most importantly, pictures of our cats. Many thanks to our sponsor for this video, The Deck of Many. I'm a huge fan myself of their Big Bad Booklet series. I've been having a hard time finding time to run full long-term campaigns lately, so I love having these little one-off adventures that can be run over the course of like a single session or a couple if I stretch it out a little bit. The Big Bad Booklet series provides all that you need to run a side mission, a one-shot, or short campaign centered around a single big bad based on 5e rules. The booklet has story, background and story hooks, new monsters, stat blocks, layer information, new items, and more. This month, come meet Zelaphestrina, a beautiful and dangerous succubus trapped in a crumbling wizard's tower. Will you get lured into her deadly embrace? Subscribe today at bigbadbooklet.com. Thank you for watching today. I'm still getting my sea legs with these adventure reviews, so please leave me any feedback you have in the comment section down below. I always want to give you all the information that you need to know if this is a product that's really right for you and your gaming group. If you enjoyed the video, you can help me out by leaving me a little like down below. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. We always have something exciting coming up that I'm just dying to share with you. Until then, keep playing safe, keep a stiff upper lip, have fun, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.